let's start it. All the things that we need for this conversion is a box of Cadian shock troops, a box of regular infantry death core of Krieg, all the regular hobby essential tools, so cutters, knife, file, maybe some sculpting tool, definitely plastic glue, and a little bit of green stuff to fill the gaps and maybe shape the goggles. Also, not necessary, but highly recommended is the blue stuff. So you will see later. So not required, but highly recommended. With everything prepared, we can start our conversion. This is one of my finished Steel Legion models, and as you can see, he has a green stuff goggles. But we can also see that his legs, arms and weapon, after some minor tweaks, are from the Cadian box, while the torso and the head with gas mask obviously are from the Krieg set. So, knowing that, we will start assembly from the Cadian shock troops, simply because the legs and arms dictate, you know, his stance, so then we can fit the Krieg torso and head accordingly. Here, for example, I like the simple stance of a guy with a rifle taking shot. I do not like the particular rifle. I will swap it with one that I have left behind after making plasma gunner, so it will be more in line of the Steel Legion. We will need a Kriegsman who is looking directly to the left, you know, taking an aiming shot. Before we move to the Krieg parts, however, we need to do a few things first. As you can see, I cut everything, even though we only need the legs. That's because in Cadian some of the leg parts are connected to the torso, unfortunately. Like here on this backpack we have a flask that has its dedicated space on this model's leg, and in this particular one I think I will just, you know, either cover it with some other bead, fill it with green stuff, or simply ignore it. And we always need the front of the torso because we will use the belt. Then we use the rest of the torso from the Kriegsman. Also, while we have all those Cadian parts, you know, separate, we need to file the shoe details with a knife, so the shoes look like plain old high boots, like perfect for Steel Legion. And these are the results. As you can see, the boots are smooth. Like, what all we want is no Cadian details there. Here is the missing part that we will need to cover up with something, and the belt is ready. We will still need to cut probably some parts of the upper body and maybe file the top to fit the torso better, but now it's time to find our Krieg donor. And in this case I think that the model 9A will be perfect, because he's also looking to the left and holding the rifle in a firing position. So I'm looking for this particular torso. By the way, it should be number 34, not 36, but whatever. All we need is the torso and the matching head number 33. Also, you will quickly notice that all the Krieg models, they have a hole in their back where the backpacks go. I don't want my, you know, Steel Legion models to carry backpacks. They are mechanized light infantry, like they can keep all their gear in the transport. So we will need to fill those gaps with a green stuff. I did it all the night before, as well as some other small things that I will show you in a second. And that's what I advise you as well. You can fill all the models on the sprue, so it will be, you know, hard and ready to work with in the morning. So yeah, that's just a small tip. Here we have the Kriegsman torso, and we need to cut it exactly below the mechanism for the rebreather. Yeah, you can do it with a knife, but it's quite a hard cut unless you have a saw or something. And unless you want to reuse the legs and lower part of the Krieg model later for some other project, yeah, I think that I will just save myself some time and start with the clippers. Now it is crucial that we glue the head to the torso before we start working with the arms and weapon, because sometimes the piping from the gas masks can get in the way of the way the weapon is positioned. But when we do it beforehand, we can adjust the arms or the whole body position, so it will fit a little bit better. So that's what we will do now, and using this opportunity I will show you how you can easily make the goggles. Well, maybe not easily, but in an easier way at a scale. Remember guys how I said that the blue stuff is super handy? Let me show you why. If we make the goggles first, via classic plastic conversion by taking any one of the Krieg heads, cutting a hole here, a slit just to the helmet, and then cutting goggles from one of the Cadian heads, one of the two that have them, and putting the goggles onto the Krieg model. You then make a mold from a blue stuff and this single head. You need to attach the head, like push the head into the mold without the pipe, because the pipes have different shape, but the overall head is identical for all Krieg models. So if you push the head into the mold, let it cool down, you will have a mold that fits perfectly a Kriegsman head and has goggles. You know, so you need to remember for your Krieg goggle guy to have the goggles protrude a little more than the regular lenses, just as if he had the goggles on top of those lenses. And that's because when you later take any other Kriegsman head, like this one, you just put a little bit of green stuff onto the mask and you push it into the same mold. It will fit perfectly, especially if it still has the crease on top of the helmet. So it will be in the same position and the green stuff will be shaped exactly by the mold. So you will have a perfect set of goggles on all your other models going forward. Do it night before, same with the holes in the back. Trust me, it's a good tip. So after gluing the head and toying with the arm a little bit, I found out that I need to, you know, cut a little bit of this part, make it less protruding so the gun will fit better, and the gun is covering it anyway. And then I needed to, you know, round his back a little bit, you will see it in a finished model. So that's why you do a little bit of dry fitting, and that's why you need the head, before, because yeah, it can change a lot of things. But before we glue all the parts, we need to do gloves. It's kind of similar to what we did with the shoes. Basically, Cadians have those cufflinks, so we just need to trim them a little bit. We need to remove the buttons so they don't look like buttons, and then we need to trim the cuff itself a little bit so it comes towards the hand. So once painted, it will look like a regular longer glove. And trust me, even if it looks, you know, rough, I think it just shows that it's a harder type of leather. So in the end, trust me, once painted, it looks perfect. Also, before the final assembly, we need to do two small things I actually forgot before, and that's make him more Steel Legion-y. And we do it by doing two things. First of all, we need to remove the crease on the Krieg helmet, because Steel Legion helmets, they are smooth. And second, what I like to do is shorten the lasgun by removing this bit, so it looks more like a, you know, carabine that you take into the transport. I think that it will also make them stand out a little more. So after some finishing touches, the model is done. As you can see, I used a grenade and an ammo pouch from the Krieg box set to hide the indent after the flask. I added a stripe on the green stuff filling on the back. And yeah, I think the shorter gun works pretty well. So overall, very happy with this model. So now what's left is to paint him and do some beauty shots for you guys to enjoy. But before we do that, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and consider subscribing for some more. Also, if you will be interested in a painting tutorial, write down in a comment so I will know to make one for you. If you have any other questions, also feel free to write them in the comments. I'll be sure to answer all of them. And yeah, let's enjoy those beauty shots together. Well, if you are still watching, consider subscribing to my Patreon to help me make more videos like this one. And anyway, Thank you guys for being here and see you in the next one. Bye bye.